Multiple greetings, everybody. This is Dr. Sehlaoui, and I hope this finds you well and safe. In one of my previous videos, I addressed the challenge that educators face in education, particularly in the education of English language learners and their use of CAL, or computer-assisted language learning. In this video, I would like to address the question of what lessons have we learned from COVID-19 in education, and how can CAL, or computer-assisted language learning, and technology help? I will also share with you some useful resources and some tips, and I hope that these tips and strategies will empower educators, parents, and students. So let's start. So the first question that we are trying to answer here is, what lessons have we learned from the current COVID-19 crisis? And the second one is, what are some examples of CAL and web-based resources that are accessible and available for free to teachers, students, and parents? All right. So as far as the lessons learned, I believe that humanity in general has learned tremendously from this crisis, and I cannot put them down in one slide or one video or one lecture. But I'll try to put some of the lessons that are relevant to us here in this area and in the field of education, at least to some extent. So the first lesson that I noticed and I observed that we have learned is that the roles of teachers, parents, and students should change. So I hope we have learned a lesson in that area. We need to change the way we look at learning and teaching in our classrooms and in general. Curricula must be updated and upgraded to reflect 21st century learning. So we have to, again, hopefully what we have learned and what we are learning today is that we need to upgrade and update our curricula. Obviously, we need to integrate online educational technology more and make it accessible to everybody by providing quality information and services and by offering meaningful professional development services to educators. All right, we need to put some more funding towards that. We need to look for grant opportunities. We need to work in this area, and hopefully we have learned a lesson today. The gap between the haves and have-nots is real, and the digital divide has come to a sharper focus during this COVID-19 crisis. So this is a lesson we have learned. Hopefully we can address and we can learn from it. And this is a worldwide issue. It's not just in the US, it's not just in a particular country, but this is worldwide. Teachers, students, and parents can become empowered by this technology to create a sustainable, safer, and socially just world. This is our responsibility. What's happening today, all these racial conflicts and issues in the world, we are part of that, all right? As teachers, as parents, and as students, we need to work together to create that sustainable, safer, and socially just world. Lesson number 6, parental involvement is key. We have learned this lesson, and research keeps focusing on the importance of parental involvement, but this crisis has made it even more evident and crucial in the process of educating our children. Teachers and parents must work together. And the final brief lesson that I would like to share with you here is that together we can do it. COVID-19 or any other challenge that may face humanity today or in the future cannot become cannot be overcome, cannot be won. This battle or this war cannot be won unless nations and states are united. So we need to work together. Now, the concept of empowerment is crucial in what we do as educators. Dr. Alan November in 2010 made this observation. He said, "This is the first time in history when many children are learning to use powerful tools outside the range of adult supervision." This observation was made in 2010. It is 10 years old, but still has implications for educators today to assume new roles for developing empowered learners, where students become contributors, and I put that in bold and I underlined this keyword, contributors, researchers, another important role, and co-partners. So I repeat that. We need to help students to become empowered, where they become contributors, researchers, and co-partners in the learning and teaching process. We are no longer the source of knowledge or the know-it-all type of teachers. All right? So that's one way of empowering our students today. This empowerment can be achieved also by educating and training teachers to become effective users and producers of knowledge through available learning management systems such as Blackboard, Canvas, Moodle, Edmodo, Schoology, among many others. This goal, and I will give examples of these learning management systems in a little bit and talk about the concept of learning management. This goal can also be achieved by educators and students becoming critical users and producers of social media platforms such as YouTube, Dailymotion, Vimeo, IGTV, TikTok, among others. If you Google keywords such as competitors of YouTube on the internet, you will be amazed, because you will see that there are so many other social media platforms that we have never used before. I have accounts in YouTube, Dailymotion, Vimeo, and I'm going to explore some more. So I advise you to do the same. Connect with our students who have become tech savvy today. All right? So let me talk a little bit about learning management systems. A learning management system is a platform that helps instructors manage and organize educational materials online and conduct online courses. That's briefly, in a nutshell, the definition of LMS. Learning management systems enable students access to learning materials 24/7, so that students with full-time and part-time employment can easily make time to pursue a degree. And this is wonderful. Additionally, in blended learning settings or hybrid modes of delivery, an LMS system can serve as a great platform to easily send students relevant supplemental resources to enhance the education received during classroom time. So LMS is a powerful platform in the hands of teachers and educators today. So when LMS is used in hybrid modes of delivery, use of flipped classroom methodology will also be easily integrated. And I have done it before in my face-to-face classes. During normal time, I used to have that always. Whenever I'm teaching a face-to-face course, I would have a Blackboard version of it online, where I would send students to do things prior to my lecture. And when we meet, we do some flipped classroom activities in class. So I would advise you to also consider something of that nature. So these are examples of learning management systems that I have used in the past and I'm still using till now. For example, Schoology is one of them. And this one was free, and it is still free and available. So what I did on this with this learning management system is that I used it to teach Arabic language and culture in the community as a volunteer to students from the community and from the family, and in two remote states. I was able to reach my students in Connecticut, and I was at the time living in Kansas. So it gave me that possibility, and I started using this almost 10 years ago. All right. So these students that I taught, some of them today are in their early 20s. So Schoology offered me a possibility at the time to use as a platform to empower my students and my children at the time to learn Arabic and culture. So here's another screenshot from this learning management system. All right. All right, this screenshot shows me in front of a classroom, all right, and explaining and teaching about the culture and the language. Edmodo, as a learning management system, is also available. It's a free platform, and recently this learning management system has integrated Google Drive into their system, among other Google applications, for easy assignment submission and sharing of students' work. Edmodo allows students to help each other outside the classroom by helping each other and by replying to posts 24/7. So make use of it. All right? Create an account, explore it, and work with it. Now, of course, Blackboard. Blackboard Learn as a learning management system is today used by universities and colleges and also by K through 12 institutions around the world. So to access this portal, this slide is showing a picture of the portal of blackboard.com. If you go to it, it will give you more information about this powerful learning management system. All right. Canvas. Both Blackboard and Canvas I have used for more than 2 decades, and they are wonderful. Both of them are great learning management systems, all right, that are available for K through 12 educators and also college and university instructors. Now, the website for Canvas is instructure.com/Canvas. So you can access that. This slide shows a portal, an image, and just an example of how it looks like. All right, so let's connect with today's tech-savvy students. This is important. This is very important. We need to connect with our students. Many researchers stress the importance that today's students need a change in the classroom. All right. Well, why? Because of their ability to gather information faster than ever before. All right? They are able to gather information faster than any previous generation, as Dr. Shesky in 2010 again mentioned. And this is true today, and we need to catch up and make sure that we are connected with our students. To make that authentic connection with students, we must change our strategies to match their needs. And of course, we cannot change our strategies to match the needs of our students unless we change our mentality. So mentality has to change. So to achieve this goal, educators must possess what I call in my book 2018, Sehlaoui 2018, what I call critical cross-cultural communicative competence, which is a very complex competence that encompasses a critical technological competence and a critical pedagogical competence as well. All right. This is our ultimate goal as educators, is to create a sustainable world. So this next slide, I will talk a little bit about this concept, and I have mentioned it in my previous video, the importance of teaching and educating for a sustainable world. We need to help students become not just critical users of digital literacy, but critical producers of such literacy. We need to guide them in the process of knowledge construction using cutting-edge technological tools in order to create a sustainable society. This is our goal. This is our ultimate goal. To cultivate their interests and things that consume them, such as video gaming, for example. To engage them and get them to learn with the world, not just about the world, but with the world. In Sehlaoui 2018, I gave examples of video games that support and promote STEM learning and teaching. So I would refer you, for example, to pages 110, 116 in chapter 3. Now let's take a look at some free online educational resources. In the Teaching ESL and STEM content through CALL book, I gathered and categorized free CALL and web-based resources for educators of English language learners. The following slides will share more free online resources, some of which have been made available during the COVID-19 pandemic for schools and parents worldwide. Other resources may have been there for before then, all right? So these are free online educational resources that educators and parents can benefit from. So let's give some examples. Google Arts and Culture is one. And through Google Arts and Culture, if you go to this website, Google Arts and Culture, let's try to access the website. So here we go. It offers educators a platform, again, full of things to select from places to visit, to historical figures, historical events, art movements, and so on and so forth. All right. So this is a very rich resource offered by Google. All right. So I invite you to explore it and bookmark this wonderful resource. So through Google Arts and Culture, you and your students can experience art and culture from around the world without ever having to leave the classroom or home. So for example, you can take a tour at the National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art in South Korea by clicking here. So you can click on this link. For example, let me take you there. There we go. So you can see I'm now inside a museum without even leaving my room. And I can walk around and check the inside and what's available in this museum in South Korea. So from Texas and from my room, I'm able to get my students and my children to visit a museum and teach them about every single exhibition and create lesson plans and things of that nature. All right, this is a field trip, a virtual field trip to the museum. All right, so Google Arts and Culture, that's a great resource. Another resource that I want to share with you is what is called Artificial Intelligence for All, Open Learning. And this is an organization that produces free, adaptable curriculum or curricula for high school teachers to infuse artificial intelligence content into their lessons. According to this organization, the materials can be implemented in any subject and doesn't require a technical background to use. Students will learn what artificial intelligence and machine learning are, the benefits and risks of artificial intelligence, and how they can be involved in forging its use in the world. So I would highly recommend that you check this URL that is available on this slide. All right. So artificial intelligence for all, open learning, that's the name of the organization. So if you Google that, you will be able to look at the resource and what it offers you as an educator and as a parent. Free support for educational leaders. So if you are an administrator or principal of a school, you have free resources out there that you can benefit from, such as this organization, for example. It's called Always Ready for Learning. It is providing free customized coaching specifically designed for education leaders. So support this support is provided by this nonprofit organization, which includes how to prepare for back to school, for example. So principals and administrators can benefit from this resource as well. The process starts when the applicant fills out a questionnaire, and they can find this at this website where it is listed. The name of the organization, again, is called alwaysreadyforlearning.org. Amazon is also doing something. Of course, they have so many things, so many programs, but because it's really a big company, Amazon Future Engineer is the name of this program that provides free access to sponsored computer science courses in the United States. It's intended for independent learners in grades 6 through 12 and teachers who are remotely teaching this age group. Parents can also access the curriculum. The organization is also offering a virtual robotics program through partners Coder Z. Okay, this is another company with a sequenced course that shows learners how to code. So coding is so important today. I wish I was offered this opportunity when I was young to learn about coding. Not till I was a teacher educator when I started to learn about coding. So anyway, early learners use block-based coding. Older learners use text-based coding. So and Amazon Future Engineer is providing access to Georgia Tech's Ear Sketch. It's a program, again, a free program that helps students learn to code through music. So artists such as Sierra and Common have provided studio quality music stems that students can remix from home using coding and code. So again, I would highly recommend that you check this AmazonFutureEngineer.com for free courses. Another resource is the Annenberg Space for Photography. Is offering educational resources to teachers, including 10 documentaries from previous photographic exhibitions that educators can use for free. So the films run between 20 to 25 minutes, and they cover climate change, refugees, Cuban history, wildlife, and so on and so forth. So each film, by the way, comes with discussion questions. And you can check that out once you type in the word Annenberg Space for Photography, and it will take you right to the links for educators. So each film comes with discussion questions, and museum experts are volunteering to visit classrooms virtually for remote discussion. This is so beautiful. You don't have to arrange for a in-person visit because it takes so much time and it's very complicated. A virtual visit can be done with this expert, and they would come to your classroom, virtual classrooms for remote discussions. So I included a link here for some instructions for teachers, which is also available on their website. The American Museum of Natural History virtual visits is another great resource, all right, that is sharing online content for teachers and families to use during COVID-19 shutdown. That includes the what they call Ology Science website with lessons on subjects from anthropology to zoology, online science curriculum collections, virtual visits to museum through its YouTube channel, and massive open online museum courses. And that's really impressive. Delivered through Coursera. By the way, Coursera.org itself offers free courses to the public. So you need to bookmark, you need to create an account, you get to become part of this platform again for learning. So here's the URL again for the American Museum of Natural History, www.amnh.org/explore. So if you want to, again, explore this resource on your own, just bookmark it and start using it. Microsoft company is also making free resources for available to teachers and parents through what they call Microsoft Remote Learning. So Microsoft's Remote Learning website is basically full of resources, training, and how-to guides to help schools, educators, students, and their families as they navigate the new normal, what they call the new normal during COVID-19. So that I would highly recommend that you check that website also and bookmark it. Another resource is called Amazing Kids, which is created by kids or is by kids and for kids. So we'll see kids' work or children's work displayed, and it contains more than 100 URLs for parents and for all levels. So check that amazing-kids.org websites for more. Now finally, and I have also included here some instructional resources that you may find useful to share with other colleagues in the field as they are faced with the challenge of teaching K-12 students online. So here's the link, and I will check the link. Basically, it's an https://thejournal.com, and I believe if you just go to that first domain, you may be able to get to all of their resources. But let me check and see if I can click on this. It takes you there. There you go. So there you go. So the journal, Transforming Education Through Technology. That's the title or name of this organization. And here what we have is an updated list of free resources for schools during COVID-19 outbreak. So you can go and explore from Adobe. So Adobe as a company is offering free access to Creative Cloud tools for home use by students attending schools that currently only provide lab access through July 6th. So for example, this is a resource that I wasn't aware of. And this access expires today, July 6th. Wow. Anyway, all right, so I'll let you explore, and you can see this is just one of the pages. And there are tons of things here that you can explore. All right. More lessons learned, and how can we make the change? All right. There are social trends in education that are rapidly changing without doubt. Okay? So things are happening. The world is changing quickly. And again, one of the scholars, Dr. Wilmarth, he discusses and explains the importance of the influence of technology and social trends. He brings to life the reality of social networks being an essential part of the experience of everyone under the age of 20. That is an important aspect of this socio-technological trend. Social networks. He also poses an important question that goes like this. Do social media applications shift power and responsibility for learning from institutions to individual learners? That's a question that we need to think about and see the implications down the road. Where are we moving? Where is this world going? Are we keeping up with the development, social trends, technological trends, political, and so on and so forth? All right. Today, we are faced with global classrooms, the concept of global classrooms. Education must prepare students for a world where the opportunities for success require the ability to communicate critically, compete, and collaborate on a global scale. Today, we have gaps in our global education that did not exist before. For example, the US is behind in various subject areas compared to the rest of other countries in the world. And the next slide, I will show you some examples. How does US compare in science, math, and reading? This is according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It's a report that was written 5 years ago. So you can see that we are not doing that great compared to many countries. So we are 24th when it comes to science, and we are 39th when it comes to math education. And in reading, we are classified 24th. Singapore is classified as the first when it comes to science, followed by Japan. And then the list goes on. I will let you explore that again by going to the organization website. If you Google again, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the 2015 report, you will get the full report and just see it for yourself. All right. Global classrooms. So we have learned that walls are no longer the boundary of the classroom. All right? Period. And there are 5 global trends that a 21st century curriculum should address, according to Vivian Stewart, 2010 again. These are, number 1, economic trends. 2, trends in science and technology. Demographic trends. Trends in security and citizenship. And number 5, trends in education. And for example, we have just seen how the US and the world compare. All right, so that comparison is very important, and we need to learn a lesson from that and move forward. So we need to make learning active. Learning as a verb. Make learning active and irresistible via call. It's not enough to help students become, again, critical consumers of the digital world. The role of the teacher is to keep students focused on the movie they are creating, to keep them centered in the meaningful in meaningful curriculum content and message, to guide and facilitate the creation process, as Dr. Tyson stated in 2010, page 127. Okay? So we need to create students who are critical producers of digital literacy, all right, in this digital world, and make learning active. Make learning an active and irresistible thing, okay, via technology, via computer-assisted language learning and the tools that are available today in your hands. Now, here's the bottom line. Changing our mental models to meet the needs of the 21st century. So we need to change that mentality, all right? There are so many myths and so many things that we need to change in our mind before we can even start doing anything. Dr. Costa and Dr. Kalik, 2020, they advise educators to change what they teach, how they teach it, and how they assess students' learning growth. These scholars, for example, developed 16 habits of mind. It's referred to as the 16 habits of mind, which can serve as a guide to thoughtful learning and curriculum design. These are listed and illustrated in the next slide. More information about their work is available at this website, habitsofmindinstitute.org. Okay, habitsofmindinstitute.org. That's the website, the URL. So I would invite you to again explore that wonderful resource and try to incorporate. They offer so many tools, including this next website. It's an illustration of how habits of minds can be integrated in the classroom. So look at those great habits of mind that we need to incorporate in our curricula, in our students, from persisting to managing impulsivity, listening with understanding and empathy, thinking flexibly, thinking about your thinking, which is metacognition, striving for accuracy, questioning and problem posing. It's not just problem solving, but problem posing, applying past knowledge to new situations, thinking and communicating with clarity and precision, gathering data through all senses, creating, imaging, and innovating, responding with wonderment and awe, taking responsible risks. My goodness, that's a big one right there. Number 14, finding humor. All right, that's important. Laughter is the best medicine. Thinking interdependently. And finally, remaining open to continuous learning. All right. I would invite you to check this resource again that is offered by edutopia.org. It's a blog / habits of mind. I would strongly recommend that you check this. It comes with a package of material resources for teachers that you can start incorporating in your curricula and content. All right, to conclude, the future of our education is changing. There is no doubt about that. We need to adapt to this change and create an education system, an educational system that will be able to develop successful leaders who will benefit our global village through education for sustainability, social justice, peace, and prosperity. This requires us to closely examine our curricula to make sure we are preparing our educators for 21st century challenges. And with that, I will say, take good care, be safe, and be well, and learn and have fun. Thank you so much.